We are back out on the backyard track with the Losi Lasernut. We did actually perform a very slight modification, which you can see sitting on the back. No more spare tire weighing down this vehicle. The wing actually does look slightly small, but when you take into account the size of the wings on an impact with full suspension slam, the wing is not in the way from those tires hitting it. And that was one of the negatives, or one of the things that I was kind of worried about when I was ordering this wing and the mount, was because I had no idea how it was actually going to, I didn't know if it was going to have a conflict with the tires, and it actually doesn't. So, well, I mean, it does. Like, maybe if I land like, you know, a 6-foot jump and I'm on one wheel, it might contact the wing, but it's inconsequential. So anyways, if you just want to see the progression of this Losi Tenacity Lasernut, stay tuned for this episode from RC Guy Garage, and let's just rip this thing. All right, like I customarily say, GoPro on. Hopefully it's on the good settings. Oh. How about if I should turn this thing on? That might help. I definitely like its looks. Now, I did mess with the front suspension slightly, so I do have to adjust the steering trim. Yep, already better. Yep. Without that back tire on there. Now it runs. Now this right from the wind. And we rolled it. All right, I'm gonna check motor temp real quick, just because I want to see if I should plug in my game changer fan. And that would actually be a yes. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to now plug in my game changer fan into this 4S pack. And this thing is running on 3S. So now you can hear the game changer fan spooling it up. Keep that motor nice and cool. come unplugged. So that was one thing that I kind of suspected may be an issue. So what I'll have to make sure of is that I'll have to make sure that this wire stays connected, because obviously that is going to be an issue. So let's just get the sand out of there. So the wire coming unplugged may be a little bit of an issue. Yeah. So what I think I'll do is I'll unplug the car. I'll wrap this around there, and we'll see if that works. So I'll probably have to, like, I may have to actually tape. I may have to put tape on it. But if that's the case, it's really not that big of a deal. Light completely off. So that's one thing I'm not liking about this new mount. Oh, right on his nose. You could still hear the fan pumping away. Broke something. Yeah, what did we break? Broke or popped. Broke a stinking... Well, there we go. GoPro off. So this is kind of what I suspected. Right there. That is actually what I have been suspecting is going to happen with this thing. So... yep. Dang it. I was hoping that wouldn't happen, but yeah, and that motor, way better. with what I was just ripping, that is actually working. That works mint. Oh, that game changer fan setup right there. Just got to make sure that your wire stays plugged in. I might have to put a little bit of like wire loom or something around here just to keep it nicer. But I'll go ahead and disconnect that right now. But yeah, all right. Well, again, here's what it is. Damn, I knew that was going to happen too. That's one of the negatives. And I knew it. You gotta... Yeah, the Losi Lasernut is on the repair deck now. So I want to show you what I found. So I don't know if we could see it, or I don't know if you could see it very clearly, but once I focus in there, you can get the gist of what happened. Now, I was actually suspecting this. And I'll have to check the other side too, because that's going to be... Oh yeah, the other thing too is the servo setup is... I'm not liking it. Yeah, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So yes, I have a 7200 pack in there, 100C, but that's because I want to rip it, and I want to rip it for an extended period of time. Does it add weight to the vehicle? Yes, it absolutely does. But going beyond that, but this is what I'm trying to... I guess, man, that's such a weak servo. That's the other thing too. They're trying to do a lot of compensation. And did I overdrive this vehicle? Yeah, I probably did. And check that out. That one is actually broken as well. So that one's literally about to snap. So that could be a couple of things. So what I will end up doing is I'm going to end up contacting Horizon. I'm going to see if there's an issue. I mean, obviously having this for such a short period of time and having those break, it actually might be a metal issue or a quality control issue on those ends, on those CVs. But I suspect that it might not be. I'm hoping that it is, but I suspect that it might not be. So what I am going to do is I'm going to order up a set that go for the deep... Well, actually, you know what? I'm actually going to take the set that's actually in my parts vehicle, like never touched the ground parts vehicle, and I'm going to set them into this thing just so that I know that I can keep ripping it. So there's a transfer of power. There's obviously a transfer of energy that's happening. And I need to sit down and go through like the list of my suspicions and what I am, like what I'm really seeing on this Lasernut. The DB Pro is obviously a lighter vehicle. We're now dealing with a heavier vehicle. We're now dealing with heavier wheels. Wheels that have more, like, torque to them when you hit the ground. Now, do I think that those axles should have broke? I want to say no, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We took the weight off of the rear by switching it out to a wing in the back, which is definitely a way better look to me, at least to my eyes, not having that, 600 pounds of weight sitting off the back of there, which probably would have looked better if it was actually set up like that. Then it would actually look pretty mint, but then that wouldn't be what the scale-ness of the rig actually is. So both right and left CVs are junk now. I am going to take it out of that vehicle just because, the parts are sitting there. So they strengthened the center diff. Okay, so now the center diff is aluminum. So now there's a transfer of energy, or there's less absorption. Those words. See, when you're Bostonian, the words don't come out just right all the time. So there's an absorption that happens when you have plastic. And when you start to tighten things up, start to add weight, can the existing components survive? And I think at least on this particular case, it's either going to be a run of bad metal or just the components can't survive the increased the increased weight of the vehicle. Because like I said, if you think about it, taking off that back wheel definitely took off some, like, weight. Maybe that was, like, in their design. Maybe they wanted to kind of, like, keep that weight to the back. I don't know. I kind of don't think so. I think it's just because we're dealing with components that are actually for this vehicle right here, for the Losi Tenacity DB Pro. The Lasernut, just being that much of a larger vehicle, we're going to encounter issues just because the vehicle itself is larger. So anyways, if you like episodes like this from RC Guy Garage, you point blank already know what to do, and I'm getting out there and I'm ripping it. Now, to continue my footage, I am going to have to take the parts off of that vehicle, the DB Pro that's unused, and I'm going to have to turn it into a parts car for the Lasernut. So anyways, I'm out. You should get out too. And I guess my job is trying to turn this Lasernut into a DB Pro. Got a couple of other things coming for this thing that's also going to change the way it drives and handles. So I'm out. You should get out too. And point blank, like I always say, just get out there and rip it. I literally need all the brake.